Sonic the Hedgehog is coming to theaters this weekend, and we are seeing some really, really weird tactics being deployed by the SJWs to do whatever they can to tear down this movie, because they're so butthurt over the fact that Birds of Prey did not do well in its opening weekend, and they are terrified of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Actually seen the movie myself, saw it on Valentine's Day, alone, and I really enjoyed it. So they left the door wide open and Sonic just ran right through them. In fact, you've had these Birds of Prey fans, fanatics really on social media, trying to do damage control for the movie.
We're talking about Birds of Prey. We're going to give our review of Sonic, but this is what we got to start with because this is very, very important. Check this out. From Cosmic Book News, Birds of Prey fans sabotaging Sonic the Hedgehog. This is legit. but I'll tell you why. It's very simple. Forbes. The success of the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie shows that Hollywood needs to listen to gamers.
Boom.
Heavens.
Because gamers, they don't mess around.
And look at this.
They have a high quality of stuff they like to play.
Well, they're the customers, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Check this story out. A Birds of Prey hashtag is trending with solid reasons to support Harley Quinn's movie. They changed the name of Birds of Prey.
I've covered anti-SJWs a lot on this channel since I've started. And their reactions to things never cease to amaze me. Sometimes it's pretty hilarious, but increasingly it is just getting more and more bizarre. And the way they inject their own politics into every single thing, regardless of how, not political that thing is, will, never cease to stop amazing me, especially because these are the guys who always cry about politics in entertainment, yet they will start politicizing something like Sonic the Hedgehog, a children's gaming icon that has also had some TV shows, I used to watch one when I was a kid, and, the new movie, and they're filming Sonic 2 at the moment. So I want to talk about the weird and bizarre politicization of Sonic the Hedgehog. So we're going to focus on the drama that happened about, a year ago, maybe a year and a half now. The weird rivalry they set up between Sonic and Birds of Prey, that DC movie which had a mostly female cast. And we're just basically going to talk about how they will manipulate any headline, any article, any weird tweet, and try and paint, the whole left with it to convince people there is this wide and unified movement to ruin entertainment just to virtue signal about politics, and it's just the strangest thing. If you want to support my work continuing for the future, regardless of what YouTube do, please consider becoming a patron. If you want to join our growing community, please check out the Discord and the subreddit in the description. And if you want to follow me personally, check out @the_Kavernacle on Instagram and Twitter. And also u/TommyCahill1995 for my personal Reddit. Thanks so much for all the support lately. And as you can see, the reward for getting to 30k is this lovely pyramid. For every 5k, we get a new chocolate orange. We're chugging along to 35, so help me get there. Also, people have asked, but I live stream about twice a week, normally on Tuesday and a Thursday. If you can't make it, I archive the streams and put them on the Kavernacle Extra, my second channel. The link to that is in the description. So although this stuff is quite old now, what prompted me to make the video is I saw this tweet, someone saying, oh hell no, what the hell is Knuckles trending for? Better be for the Sonic 2 movies, because I swear to God, if SJWs start wokenizing my favourite Sonic character. And then I was just reminding me of all this stuff. I was like, oh yeah, remember when they really tried to politicize Sonic to no end, and then you have all these bizarre thumbnails for videos. The funniest one was the Tim Pool one, obviously that's the most infamous, talking about Sonic proving gamers right and making feminists mad. And like I said, it's all a constructive narrative. But I want to start by going back to the redesign. So of course the trailer came out for this film. Sonic looked really hideous, he looked way too human with weird fingers and weird eyes. And there was a massive backlash saying, this does not look like Sonic the Hedgehog. And people were just memeing it. I'm never going to see this movie. I still made fun of the stupid redesign. You can just do that. I didn't care. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Sonic. I do kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog in Super Smash Brothers and some games I grew up playing. But again, I don't care. But there's a weird thing anti-SJWs like to do, is that if a director or a creative is for the fans, it means they are also anti-left and against anti-SJWs. So in this instance, because the director of Sonic listened to the fans, then automatically he basically hates identity politics and social justice. So I just want to get into a video quick about apparently how SJWs were freaking out about the redesign.
12 weirdos who spend all their time on Twitter trying to destroy something. So this is hilarious. I'm just going to read this verbatim. I still hate that fan outrage successfully sent Sonic animation back to the drawing board, because that's never ever a good precedent. But it does look better. This is I'm gonna do a autopsy on this, and we're just gonna pull it apart. So I still hate. Well, you're SJW. Your life revolves around hate and obsession and trying to destroy people. I still hate that fan outrage. So outrage is a coded word. Outrage is meant to belittle the people making comments. It was a response. It was criticism. SJWs hate criticism. They will go insane and they will destroy their own lives trying to destroy other people. One of the things about SJWism is its anti-intellectual movement. That's why they hate debate, they hate discussion, they hate criticism. I mean, like, funny thing is that all these people who are anti-fan and think that they're fake celebrities, they always they go back and forth between their ego and they're elevated and then begging for money and they're impoverished. You probably wouldn't be impoverished if you listened to the fans a lot more. This Sonic movie is going to make a lot more money for everyone because they listen to the fans.
Now you see in that video, the guy is really stretching, basically putting up one person's tweet and then discussing it, talking about SJWs freaking out. It's a really weird thing they do, and I will never stop referencing this because it's just absolutely hilarious. But remember when the Snyder Cut was picking up momentum and lots of these people involved with Geeks and Gamers were saying stuff like, Zack Snyder loves the fans, he's the best, he doesn't care about SJWs and identity politics. And then he comes on Geeks and Gamers' own live stream and says that he rejects hate and bigotry because it seems like someone tipped him off that this channel often pushes far-right politics.
I've seen this concerted effort from a lot of these far-left people, the Blue Checkmark Brigade, and it just seems like the existence, the mere mention of the existence of the Snyder Cut really, really upsets them. I respect this man, and I have talked about how much I do respect him as a person, as a dude, and as a director. I like a lot of his movies. I just don't like his DCEU. And this is exactly why I love and respect Zack Snyder so much, because he is a grown-ass man. He's actually talking to people like my friends talk to me and I talk to my friends. He's talking to you like you're a normal human being, because that's who Zack Snyder is. And I really, really appreciate this guy so much.
We're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned, and there's no room for hate.
What I just listened to Zack Snyder do to me, and I do believe he slandered me.
But let's get to the big one. So many channels, including Tim Pool, made multiple videos on Sonic owning the feminists. So what happened is it somehow correlated that Birds of Prey, which stars Margot Robbie and Ewan McGregor, which is a film about these superhero / villains, because Harley Quinn isn't really a hero, teaming up to take on the Black Mask played by Ewan McGregor. And some reviews I read at the time were decent, praising like Ewan McGregor's performance and everything. And I never saw it, but I'd probably be more interested in watching it compared to the Sonic movie. But the Sonic movie came out the next weekend. So in their heads, they're already constructing a narrative about Birds of Prey versus Sonic the Hedgehog. And I really do not understand how Sonic the Hedgehog factors into this. But basically, Birds of Prey, you can already imagine what they think about Birds of Prey. Because it's a mainly, female-led cast, they say it's SJW nonsense. And also they had a weird caveat that because the women weren't super objectified, they were really annoyed by that. Because as we all know, you have to objectify women when making an all-female superhero movie. People like Tim Pool would say, like, I go to the movies to see this type of stuff. You know, I don't want Captain America with a beer gut, so when I want to see Harley Quinn and these other people, I want them to all look really, you know, good looking and wearing skimpy outfits and stuff. It was really weird.
There were like feminists on Twitter saying the reason Birds of Prey didn't do well is because they didn't sexualize the women and all the young boys didn't want to see women. It's like, wait, hold on. Yes, technically yes. Like when I go to see a movie.
There's no denying that.
No, because when I go to see a movie, like I'm not going to a movie to see real life.
Right. I'm going to see something out of the norm.
So like
something extraordinary.
And I'll tell you this. I want my Captain America 6 foot tall and super ripped, Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I don't want a frumpy fat dude playing Captain America.
Exactly.
It's because superheroes are fit, top tier, peak humans.
Yeah, exactly.
And the women don't have to be like, I don't know, Hooters girls.
Right.
But they look good. They look fit, toned. They have nice bodies.
Wonder Woman is a good example.
Yeah, Gal Gadot's amazing.
She's
Perfect.
not overly sexualized. They even like cover it a little bit, but even when she's wearing her trench coat like investigative gear,
she looks good.
But Birds of Prey did not do so great at the box office. There are, you know, a million reasons why. I doubt feminism has much to do with it, and I also doubt the studio execs who greenlit Birds of Prey really care about feminism that much. And I also know that these guys know nothing about the movie business. And these studios, when something like Birds of Prey doesn't do well, they literally just write it off because they'll have a bunch of movies that are doing well. In Oliver Stone's audiobook, he really goes into the business side of movies, and it's just funny how these guys just don't seem to understand it. But then they put all this stuff onto Sonic. So here's how the narrative formed. Birds of Prey for SJWs. Sonic listens to the fans. They had a massive backlash and then they changed the film. So Sonic is pro-fans. And in the weird world of anti-SJWs, being pro-fans also somehow means being anti-feminist and anti-left-wing. So have a look at various anti-SJW YouTubers all talking about this stuff and basically saying what I've told you.
Birds of Prey was expected to fail too, by most of us, for a number of obvious reasons. First and foremost, it was another lame attempt at a proven-to-fail strategy in Hollywood films. Lady team-up movies that antagonize the male audience never end up panning out. Ghostbusters 2016 failed at that, as did Ocean's 8, and Charlie's Angels of 2019 did as well, as did Terminator Dark Fate. These bad examples speak for themselves, but for some reason, DC decided to make Birds of Prey in the same failed vein anyway. And in addition, the movie also made the fatal mistake of making its main character look ugly and gross. And that's no small feat either, considering Harley Quinn is played by the fantastic looking Margot Robbie. Not only were people sick of all this feminist girl power anti-male BS in the movie, but also another bigger name and better picture and a more entertaining project was on its way to release 1 week after Birds. I'm of course talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I think we can all easily see why this movie was on track to knock down Harley Quinn and the Birds from their tenuous top spot at the box office. Pro-SJW feminist fans of Birds of Prey, they saw this coming early on too, and that's why they tried to slander Sonic preemptively online, calling the film offensive, bigoted, and just making stuff up in order to try and turn people away from that movie, because now more people just want to see Sonic because of that baloney. And also, there's just not that many Birds of Prey fans out there to begin with.
And they are terrified of Sonic the Hedgehog. That's right, they are terrified of this movie because they think that Sonic the Hedgehog is going to hurt Birds of Prey's box office even more in its second weekend. And so because of that, they are deploying a very, very popular SJW tactic where they are trying to do whatever they can to tear down Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, in order to prop up their feminist woke movie Birds of Prey. But they are using some very, very popular tactics used among SJWs and feminists to do whatever they can to tear down this movie. And let's just go ahead and get into this because this is absolutely insane. I can't believe there are people out there that are actually doing these types of things. But again, these are SJW freaks that we are talking about, and they aren't really right in the head in the first place.
But this time, believe it or not, the Sonic fan base and the Sonic franchise is the victim here. In this situation, they did nothing wrong, which is extremely different from what we're used to seeing. So yeah, I skipped out on the Harley Quinn movie because it looked kind of obnoxious, to be honest. And apparently, I'm not the only one either, because the film is a box office bomb. But you know what isn't okay? getting overly upset when a film bombs to the point where you literally spread lies about a film that happens to be competing the very next weekend that isn't even out yet, that you can't even see yet. Such is the case with Birds of Prey fans.
Now, the basic narrative they're giving to the audience is that Sonic did well because it listened to the fans and changed. Birds of Prey just wanted to virtue signal and not appeal to the fans, so it did really, really poorly. But the main caveat I feel like they're missing is Sonic is a children's movie. And I think Birds of Prey was a 12A in the UK, which, does that mean an R rating in the US or something? So already they're going for completely different audiences. There would be room for both of these movies to do well at the same time because, again, they're not appealing to the same people. Kids don't love Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie, and also love Sonic the Hedgehog. So you're going to take your children to Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog is also a really well-established media brand. Like I said, I watched the cartoons growing up. The games have been around forever, and they must seemingly still make money because they pump them out all the time, despite most of them being pretty garbage as of late. And you also have the weird spin-offs like Shadow the Hedgehog, who has like machine guns, and I actually did enjoy that one, to be fair, but it is ridiculous when you sidestep from Sonic. And basically, Sonic was a very entertaining children's movie that was funny and knew its audience and knew the fans. Birds of Prey was bad because of feminism, and the critique doesn't go much deeper than that. I feel like these people often go into films just wanting to hate on them anyway because they think it's like virtue signaling garbage and stuff like that. I also saw this floating about when I was researching it. Apparently these anti-SJWs were also really outraged because one person at thegamer.com wrote an article that said Sonic should be gay. And here are some of like the headlines of that article. I'm not going to read the article for you, but I'm going to show the reaction. But the headlines are funny. It's like, Sonic and Tails could become more than just friends. He's never been that interested in Amy. He has a lot of chemistry with Knuckles. And it seems like this article was just designed to outrage YouTube anti-SJWs. But of course they had to make videos on it. Of course they couldn't stand by where their new champion, Sonic the Hedgehog, would be made a gay icon. Again, this stuff is just so ridiculous, I can't stop laughing at any of it.
Well, I guess if the SJWs can't beat Sonic, they're going to try to twist him into part of their narrative. So the SJWs have been very mad at Sonic over the past few weeks. They hate the fact that Sonic absolutely stomped Birds of Prey in the box office. They hate this movie. They hate Sonic. They are so livid about everything having to do with Sonic right now. So what they're going to do instead now is they're going to try to switch up their strategy and go after Sonic and try to make him part of their identity politics because, well, he's successful, so that's what they like to do. They like to take anything that's successful and try to either tear it down and completely destroy it or taint it into part of their scheme of identity politics woke nonsense. So that's what the SJWs are trying to start to slowly do with Sonic now.
So again, there you go. They're trying to politicize Sonic the Hedgehog by making him gay and putting their politics on Sonic the Hedgehog. While at the same time, these right-wing people will politicize Sonic the Hedgehog and literally just use a children's character to push their political agenda because that's what they're doing in these videos. Whether if they know they're doing this, they're essentially using issues like this to indoctrinate impressionable people into their own politics through talking about really ridiculous stuff. And it's just frustrating if you want to watch like nerd media coverage. Pretty much you're going to be, getting your information from someone who's extremely right-wing. And even people who have told me in the past, Star Wars theory is apolitical, he's partnering with these far-right people too. So, like I've always said, if I had like a teenage kid right now, probably be pretty worried if they're watching YouTube about this stuff because then you just get a nice dose of far-right politics. It's about constructing a narrative. And there are multiple reasons why these guys do that. The head of Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy, I think he's extremely political in that he wants people to believe the same politics as him. He now has a sport channel, which is all about far-right politics. He has an actual politics channel, and then he has Geeks and Gamers as well. Now, they often say we have people from across the political spectrum, but it is kind of funny how these guys all usually lean pretty far right. And also, even if they don't, some of them, I made a video about the gaming community and how they all basically say the same stuff in regard to anti-SJWs, from the centre-left people like Angry Joe to the more, far-right wing people like, some of these guys. Now, I've made whole videos criticising their style of content and how much they upload. But essentially, what these channels become is content farms. Maybe not as bad as like the massive ones, but they are trying to keep and increase their revenue. That is the purpose of every single video. Even if some of them might be more politically charged to spread politics, the underlying point is these guys are trying to make money. Now, because these guys upload so much, they've got to construct these narratives. Because if they lived in like sane, normal reality, then you couldn't make this stuff, because it's just blatantly not true, and you're twisting things so much to make a ridiculous narrative, like Sonic being this anti-SJW political figurehead. But they've got to do it because they can keep making lots of videos in their little series. So at the moment on the Star Wars one, they have Kathleen Kennedy versus Rian Johnson, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau versus Kathleen Kennedy. That's a big narrative where there's no evidence these guys actually have any problems with each other, but they make it up. The Sonic one was a big one for a while. The Gal Gadot Brie Larson one had a little bit of traction. But this stuff just constantly happens because they got to keep uploading and make new content. Whereas a lot of us just have to come up with good ideas and good topics and put lots of research and effort into the videos. These guys just sit on a live stream, read through an article, sometimes an article which is from a blog which is very similar to their channel, and then they just react to it. 10 minutes, then there you go, have like 30k views, 40k, 50k, maybe even 100k for what would that be, like 2 hours work or something? Not so bad, probably making a decent amount of money. And like I said, you can start to make multiple videos based on these narratives when a tiny bit of info trickles out, or one of these right-wing blogs just makes something up based on a rumor apparently they heard. It is so transparent and so boring. Like, any of you guys in the comments, if you used to be an anti-SJW and watch these guys, please let me know if you ever got bored of their content. Even if you might not be as left-leaning as me, even if you're conservative, I don't understand how you can watch these guys all the time, because at the end of the day, you must know they're lying about most of it, because they are just blatantly lying. Now, I don't really understand where this guy's politics strictly lie. I'd say anti-SJW, but there's a Star Wars YouTuber called Mike Xero, which I featured a couple times. He literally just makes things up on every single video. Like, literally every single story he does on his channel is made up, based on people who know what's going on at Lucasfilm, based on right-wing blogs. It's so ridiculous, and I'm watching this like, what reality do you guys live in where you think any of this is going on right now? And I guess the underlying point with things like Birds of Prey and Sonic, not that they're very similar, is that none of these films are designed with politics in mind. They changed Sonic's design not because they love the Sonic fans, it's because the whole of the potential audience, even people like me who would never go and see it, were making fun of it, so it looked ridiculous, and everyone would just think it's bad to start with. When they redesigned it, they're getting some goodwill like these guys think, and they're, boosting the chances this film may be successful because they have goodwill, show they're willing to change, but they don't care about the fans. They care about making money. The same with Birds of Prey. The people involved in it, like Margot Robbie and some other actresses in it, they might have pretty left-leaning politics. They might call themselves feminists. The director might be a feminist. But the studio who greenlight these projects and hear the pitches, they're not doing this for political reasons. It's because whoever came up with this idea for this female-led action movie has shown them the potential revenue. There might be a gap in the market. They'd have to justify why they think this film would be successful. That's what you've got to do when you pitch your film and get, the funding and stuff. Most massive studios will not just greenlight anything and be like, yeah, let's get our feminist film made. And to even think these films are feminist just for having, all female cast is just weird, because the message in these films usually isn't like revolutionary socialist feminist. It's just, women are cool, women are strong, women are badass. And that's literally the extent of it. Anyway, I wonder which children's character will become the leader of the far-right anti-SJWs next. Maybe it will be Shadow the Hedgehog, or maybe it'll be like Yoshi or something. Because that is how ridiculous this stuff is getting by now. And I hope that even if you like this stuff and maybe you like some of these channels, please just realize they're just using you to make money, or they're trying to indoctrinate you with far-right politics. They don't actually really care about this stuff because they know they're lying every time they make a video. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you want to follow me on social media, it's at the Kavernacle on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to support my work, please check out my Patreon. If you want to join our communities, check out the Discord and the subreddit in the description. Again, second channel is also linked down there. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching.